Okay, so we're going to pick up. Okay, so I'm going to pick up where we left off on the diagnostic quiz on Wednesday, number 41. Food that's being cooled must pass quickly through which temperature range to reduce pathogen growth? A, B, C, or D? Masks up, everybody. Pardon me? Number 41. I said, put up your masks. Food being cooled must pass quickly through which temperature range to reduce pathogen growth? Okay, that's correct, D. Number 42. What food item does FDA advise against offering on a children's menu? A, rare cheeseburgers, the answer. Okay. Okay. Number 43. A food handler with a sore throat and a fever should be excluded from working in a daycare center because the children correct answer is C. They are high-risk population. Okay, number 44. Which is a chemical contaminant? D. Chemical. Okay. Number 45. Which is a biological contaminant? Would be B. Norovirus. Biological indicates that it's something that's alive. So it could be could be viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, any of those. The 16th, conditions bacteria need to grow are food acidity, temperature, time, oxygen, and the moisture. Okay. 47, using the same knife to chop carrots for a salad immediately after cutting up raw chicken is an example of cross contamination, letter B. Okay, 48, which is an example of physical contamination? C, bones in fish. Number 49, which symptom could mean a customer is having an allergic reaction to food? C, swollen lips. 50, to prevent food allergens from being transferred to food. A, make sure you have everything cleaned and sanitized before you have a special order. Okay, of these, which is a big 8 food allergen? B, wheat. Okay, number 52. What's the minimum temperature that must be maintained when holding hot soup for service? That'd be C. It has to be at least 135 to get it out of the temperature danger zone. 53. With approved procedures in place, cold food being held without temperature control for up to 6 hours cannot exceed which temperature while it's being served? Correct answer is D. You're holding it without temperature control, so you're not going to be able to keep it cold. And it will be considered safe until it reaches 70 degrees. So a day like today, if we're doing a picnic outside and we're serving potato salad, it can probably be pretty difficult to keep a large container above 70 or below 70 degrees, as it's supposed to get up into the mid 80s today. So what could you do to serve potato salad at a picnic today? Take out smaller portions of it so it goes faster. Okay, number 54. A food handler has been holding chicken salad for sandwiches in a cold well for 7 hours. She takes the temperature of the chicken salad is 54 degrees. What must the food handler do? Would be D, discard the chicken salad. Okay, it's yeah, it's been held for over 7 hours. 55, with approved procedures in place, including making sure it does not exceed 70 degrees. What is the maximum time that a pan of cold tuna salad may be held without temperature control? C, 6 hours. Okay. 56. An operation has a buffet with 8 different items on it. How many serving utensils are needed to serve the items on the buffet? Yes, that one. Very good. 8. 57. Which food item may be handled with bare hands? C. Chopped carrots for stew. You can handle food that is going to be cooked. I mean, your hands still have to be clean and sanitized. But everything else, if you touch it with bare hands, you're gonna have to throw it out. If you put something on a plate, people can eat it. And even though you might not eat parsley, some people will. Okay, 58. A cook wore single-use gloves while forming raw ground beef into patties. Then they continued to wear them while slicing hamburger buns. What mistake was made? Okay, so C. Okay, all right, that sounds familiar. Cook did not wash hands and put on new gloves before slicing hamburger buns. All right, 59. When must a consumer advisor be provided for menu items containing TCS food? A consumer advisory. So what is a consumer advisory? This is the only thing I can think of that there's a you have to be able to identify, a server would have to identify if a food contains the allergen. This is talking about a menu item, so it's not something that you're putting in a container and selling as like a bottle of your salad dressing or one of your secret sauce kind of things. On that type of thing, you have to put in that contains allergens, whatever. But a consumer advisory, that's when you're saying, like, you either put a little asterisk on it, and at the bottom you say, this contains raw or undercooked seafood. 60, which feature is most important for a chemical storage area? With lighting, you need to be able to read the instructions. Did we talk about what happens if you mix bleach and ammonia? Very good. And that's, yes. So you have to be careful about those kind of things. You have to read the labels of what it is you're using so you don't harm people. 61, what is the correct way to store mops in between uses? D, hanging on a hook. Okay, 62, a busser poured some cleaner from its original container into a smaller working container. What else does the busser need to do? A, label that working container with its contents. What is the normal job of a busser? Clearing off the table. Okay. Number 63, which of these does not require sanitizing? C, the walls. Number 64, which surfaces must be both cleaned and sanitized? B, your cutting boards, the food contact surface. 65, the first step in cleaning and sanitizing items in a 3-compartment sink is, okay, letter D, rinsing, soaking, and scraping. Number 66, after we scrape and wash, what is the third step in cleaning and sanitizing a prep table? C, you rinse it after that. In a heat sanitizing dishwasher, what is the minimum temperature for the final rinse? Correct answer is B, 180 degrees. Okay, number 68. The food contact surface must be cleaned and sanitized before working with a different type of food. 69, where should garbage cans be cleaned? A, away from your food and utensils. 70, when the kitchen garbage can was full, an employee placed the full garbage can on the prep table and tied it securely. Then he carried it to the dumpster and disposed of it. What was done incorrectly? C, the bag was placed on a prep table. 71, the grease and condensation buildup on surfaces can be avoided with correct D is ventilation. Yeah, in fact, we have a hood and the motor died on it, so we can't have classes in that kitchen because we don't have a hood working. 72, to prevent backflow, a sink must be equipped with air gap. What is an overflow drain do? Okay. That's not going to prevent backflow. Backflow is whenever you have a physical connection between like your sewage line and your drainage pipes. So the air gap is what you need. 73, what are the most important food safety features to look for when selecting flooring, wall, and ceiling materials? E, smooth and durable. Smooth so that they're easy to clean. 74, what information should a master cleaning schedule contain? Should be what should be cleaned when, by whom, and how. It may be nice to know why, but that doesn't have to be part of the actual schedule. A hand washing station should have hot and cold water, soap, a way to dry hands, and a garbage container. Anything else that it should have? Pardon me? A sign, yeah, instructing employees to wash their hands. Number 76, a food handler drops the end of a hose into a mop bucket, turns on the water to fill it. What have they done wrong? A, they created a cross connection. 77, the water provided to a hand washing sink must be C, potable water only. And that just means that you have to be able to drink it. It has to be safe to drink. 78, which individual should apply pesticides in a food service operation? A, your pest control operator is another word that is usually included with that. What kind of a pest control operation operator? I think I heard it, licensed pest control operator. 79, a food handler who is receiving a food delivery observes signs of pests in the food. What should be done? C, refuse that shipment, prevent it from entering the operation. How high must legs on a table, or how high must legs be on a table mounted equipment? This is C for table mounted, because like the table is usually like 3 feet off of the ground. That's an easier height to clean under, so the legs only have to be 4 inches. Okay, next. Yeah, I said next. Yeah, and I work until 4:30. Okay. Okay, so number 1, this is a spore-forming bacteria found in dirt. It can produce 2 different toxins when allowed to grow to high levels. These toxins cause 2 different illnesses. One is a diarrhea illness and the other one is a vomiting illness. C is the correct answer, Bacillus cereus. And how did y'all get that? I did. When I was looking through the book yesterday. Okay. Alrighty, an approved reputable supplier may have an inspection report from the local health club. It's the Food and Drug Administration. There are several correct answers, but they're not on this screen. Okay, food handlers should never do this with aprons. Okay, D. Limiting the amount of food that can be removed from a cooler while prepping is an example of using A, time temperature control. This bacteria is carried in the nose of 30 to 50% of healthy adults and on the skin of 20 to 20 or 35% of healthy adults. A, Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, a HACCP plan is required when
thought it was B, but I'm pretty sure it's B.
Okay. The correct answer is C. Whenever you're doing something that's going to have food in the temperature danger zone for an extended period of time. So sprouting seeds or beans is like the exact perfect conditions for growing bacteria. Smoking food to enhance flavor can be done in like 30 seconds in a smoker. You can just put in some food in there. But if you're preserving it by smoking, it takes a lot lower temperatures and longer time. Yes. Yeah, anytime you need a HACCP plan, you would need a variance from the health department. And it will be the health department that comes and tells you, like, you can't do this until you have a HACCP plan in place. And then you have to have written approval from the health department before you can do it. When washing hands, how much time should be spent scrubbing hands and arms vigorously? The 10 to 15 seconds. There should be 5 items at every hand washing station. There's sink with hot and cold running water, a way to dry hands, and then 3 more. Which letter?
Oh, yeah.
D. Trash can, signs for employees to wash hands, and soap. Can you use bar soap at a hand sink?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. What is the minimum internal temperature for reheating seafood gumbo for hot holding? D. If you're going to be hot holding any food that's reheated, it has to get up to 165 within 2 hours. So it's like that's a very specific rule. Single-use gloves must be worn when handling ready-to-eat food. One exception is C. Chopped onions to be cooked in stew. If we said washing lettuce, that would also be, but you're never going to have 2 answers. What acidity level of a food may contribute to the growth of bacteria? I'm sorry, the acidity level of food may contribute to the growth of bacteria. So what range of pH will bacteria grow most quickly? C, 4.5 to 7.1. So the pH scale goes from 0 to 14. 7 right in the middle will be pure water. So anything below that becomes slightly acidic. So that's where this range comes into play. When may a food handler diagnosed with hepatitis A return to working with food? C, they have to receive approval from both their medical practitioner and the local regulatory authority. Which should be rejected upon delivery? Okay. Food packaged in the operation that is being sold to customers for use at home, such as bottled salad dressing, must be labeled. The label must include all of the following except I don't agree with B as in boy.
No, it's A. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have to have all of those other things on there. And like I've got the page numbers in here, so if you check in the text, you can see that. What is the minimum internal temperature when cooking duck breast?
That is what definitely see. Oh, no, it doesn't. I don't think it's C. It's either C or G. There's no way it's C or A.
Okay.
Right? Okay, no. it's
What
D.
kind of food is a duck? Poultry. What temperature do we have to cook poultry? D. Okay, the problem is that this was written before, I mean, it's instantaneously now, it used to be 15 seconds. We made potato salad in-house today, June 19th. What should the use by date be on the label?
Oh, you're telling me she has, you're telling 19 as a date.
Yes, it's C, June 25th. You include the day that it's made as the first day. Okay, which of the following must be at a 3-bay sink? Okay, good. Clock with a second hand. Why? Okay, that's for measuring the time that you keep your dishes in the sanitizer there. Which of the following is recommended to avoid contaminating your hands after washing them? Use a paper towel to turn off the faucet. The faucets are, the handles are going to be touched with dirty hands. When purchasing fish that will be served raw or undercooked, be sure to this is a tricky one because it's not.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Exactly, yes. The thing about it is you should also receive documentation that it has been frozen correctly. And that's not on this list. No, that's to store fresh fish. Just because you have fresh fish doesn't mean you can serve it raw. So you need to have like the sushi grade fish with the documentation before you can sell that. Which of the following would not be acceptable in a commercial kitchen?
Yeah, what do you mean? The sink or the way?
Yeah, we can't wash trash cans in the kitchen. Okay. Now we're done. We'll continue with reviews next week. Go have a good weekend.